My name is Bruno Perrier. I have been working with Boy Blue since 2006, and my first show with the company was Breaking Convention in 2006. And then straight after that, I think the next day, we started working on research and development for Pied Piper. This was basically where I really kind of found out what it took to be in the company, and more importantly, it's where I kind of figured that there is a lot that I need to learn. There's a couple of things I think is important. One is to always move around the room and learn from different standpoints. There was always a thing with us in rehearsals. People always had, their space where they always stood. And if you stood in that space long enough, you kind of saw that, you'd always kind of have the same people around you, but you'd always have the same view of where to learn the choreography from. I always found it important to move around the room so that you could get a different angle. So no matter where you were in the room, it would help you to pick up choreography. There was also another thing which I did personally, which was always to look at the choreographer, in this case KENRICK's left hand, because he always had his wedding ring on his left hand, and it would always help me to learn which hand he was using just that split second faster to help me pick things up a little bit faster. I think another thing is that's really important, no matter who the choreographer is to do as much of their classes as you possibly can to really embody the way they move their bodies. That's about it in regards to the techniques. In regards to embodying choreography, I think the quicker you can pick it up, the quicker you can start to perform it. I think the sooner you're comfortable with something, a piece of the choreographer, try to perform it as soon as possible. That should help you to really embody and learn to perform it quicker. Ways in which I prepare for performances. On the day of a performance, I always like to use that day to really look into what I can tweak in the piece itself. Some people have a belief that if you don't have it by the day of the performance, then you won't get it. For me personally, I kind of don't take that approach. I always feel that there are enough hours in the day of performance itself to tweak things wherever you would like to tweak things. As a company, we always did a focus where we all kind of came together just before we went on stage to really kind of focus our minds on the performance ahead. I as well personally would take out maybe 15-20 minutes away from the group for myself to really kind of focus on what I need to do personally to make sure that I had the best performance that I could possibly have. There are many different ways in which I personally connected with EOE. One of them was to really develop and embody the style I was given. In this case, it was animation. So being part of this piece gave me an opportunity to really delve into that style and really learn everything that I could about that style to be able to really showcase it. Another way is that obviously EOE itself is a showcase of different Boy Blue pieces for, I think it's a 10-year span. So it was really nice to reconnect with old pieces that you had done in the past, but now being a dancer at a higher level than maybe you were before, to be able to interpret that in a different way was great. And also to really kind of showcase the birth of different things, like the birth of the company, the birth of the style itself at the beginning of the piece, and the way you kind of gradually build as a dancer from the beginning right all the way through the end. In regards to the lighting, I always found it to be a guide to help you when you were on stage. The piece itself was lit so well You always knew whether, if there was a corridor of light, you knew whether to be on the left of it, the right of it, or down the center. If there was a pool of light, you kind of used that as a guide to know where you needed to be in that pool of light. And obviously, if you were supposed to be in the spotlight, it helped you to really see where and how you would fit certain formations on the stage. Um, there's also the element of the costumes, which really added to the piece, which helped in regards to the bottoms, the trousers that we had. It was made sure that they were really elastic, so we were really able to really show the dynamic movement that we needed to show. The footwear was very light, so it really helped us. And the top half, the top was very comfortable. So all these things added to the overall performance. And the staging as well. The staging really helped because it helped you to know your place on the stage and know how to be aware of whether you were in the front or you were the background. All these different things that kind of helped to put the structure on the performance and helped you and gave you more enjoyment and again more guidance throughout the performance itself. Dancing with Boy Blue has probably been one of the best experiences I've probably had. Um, we had a lot of great times, we had some challenging times, but all these different things kind of have brought us to be very, very close. And I feel like even past our dance lives and forevermore, we would still be very close. So it was a great thing to be part of the company for such a long period of time. Um, Working with Mikey and Ken is also amazing to break down both people. First with Ken, obviously KENRICK is, he's an OG in the scene. He's been in the scene for a very long time. So to have someone like that be your mentor has been great for my personal development. In regards to Mikey, is also a mentor. I feel like especially from a choreographic standpoint of creating pieces, Mikey was very instrumental. I remember the first time I sat down with Mikey to create the first kind of soundtrack for one of the pieces that I had to do as a choreographer. I learned a lot about how he breaks down music, how he puts music together. A lot of tools which have really helped me a lot. So both of them have had a massive impact on me as a dancer and a choreographer. And yeah,